Today we checked out Teogonia. This is a new show that just came out, and honestly, the premise is pretty crazy.
Good show! Jolly good show! Jolly good show indeed!
This is a twist on isekai that I have honestly just never seen before. But aside from the CGI apes and pig people, there's a lot to unpack, man. Let's get into it. How was the first 2 episodes of it, man? How'd you feel?
Man, I guess we're gonna start off with, I guess they're in like a little tribe and they like fight off like orcs and like monkeys, gray monkeys at that.
They call them demi-humans. Just like human-like creatures.
Yeah.
Just animals with human intelligence, right? And they just walk upright. Anyway.
I guess so. But basically they got in a little war with the demi-human gray monkeys. And they
100 gorillas versus a man.
And when I tell you, they were actually losing.
Nah.
They were actually losing.
Wait, who was losing?
The regular people, the humans.
Oh no, yeah, they was getting smacked. Bro,
They
did you
was
not see
getting-
that?
They was getting smacked.
It was like 100 LeBron James out there.
Yeah, they was getting cooked. But then
They was minimum 7 foot.
But then the prince showed up and he like packed up all of them.
Yeah, man. And honestly, that gets right into what I was trying to talk about with this show, which is the power system, bro. Because they have like this like spirituality that everybody kind of has a latent amount of in this show. But some people that have these crazy face tattoos are called spirit bearers, and they're connected to like a god that represents them. And they're just way more powerful than everybody. You know what I'm saying? So low key at first, they were getting smacked. I didn't even go live. That monkeys was putting up numbers. 100 man versus 1 gorilla type numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like they was going crazy. But as soon as he pulled up, like I don't know exactly how much of the spirit essence he had, but he started working the monkeys crazy, boy.
Yeah, it didn't take him long.
Dog.
And they only took like 1 attack from each slice too. I was like, yeah, man. That was too easy for him.
And then low-key, the monkeys were like, hey, man, we in trouble. Hey, call Big Bro. And they called Mojo Jojo. And he pulled up with his tattoos. So I thought like, oh, this is about to be a real tough fight. But apparently, you know what I'm saying, he ain't been eating his Wheaties because he got packed up low-key just as easy.
Hey, at least they were smart enough to retreat though.
They were smart enough to retreat. Now, I would have
Well, the ones that were still alive.
Yeah, they did. That looked crazy. So it was just crazy way to like even start it off. And mind you, we're talking about a guy that's not the main character who's doing all this action. The main character was getting his shit rocked. Yes. He was not with it. You know what I'm saying? Usopp was out here saving him from the monkeys.
That's his boy.
That's not his name, but he got the nose. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I mean. But it was just crazy to see like how he really coming from the gutter. Like he's not even like a good soldier. He's like the bottom of the barrel. You know what I mean?
Especially when they were eating the little. What are those called? I don't know what they're called.
I don't even know what to call it, man. The spirit source, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
The fact that they had to ration one of them together for like 5 to 6 people, I was like,
see, but that's what's messed up. The prince, low key, like somebody like,
he got
walked
like
up
2
to him
holes.
and was like, "Hey, here you go, man." And he
Yeah.
just like drank the whole thing by himself. So I was like, "Okay, bet." So everybody after the battle is gonna drink one. Nah, he passed it around, and they got to take their dagger and get like 1 teardrop worth.
I was like, nah, that's got to be racist.
That's messed up. So apparently the way the world works is, I guess if you're a spirit bearer, like because you're so much more powerful, it's more worth it for them to feed you like all the spirit essence than to feed like the weaker dudes. So essentially, like they're just like, you're kind of fodder, honestly. Like, you're legit fodder.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And that made sense.
The strong get stronger.
It made sense when they got to the eating dinner.
Oh no, that was even worse.
The kings and the queens over them, everybody eating good.
Boy, she was in Rudy's, man. She had a skewer with the barbecue.
Eating good.
18 different types of protein on her plate.
And then we get to the main character, and he had a sliver.
And then he looks
at his best friend, which is the leader. He's all, "Hey man, why you got more than me?" And he says, "Because I'm the leader, man. I don't know what you expect."
Dog.
And he goes, "How am I supposed to grow if I'm not eating nothing?" I'm like,
that's facts though.
He's
You know what I'm saying? I felt for homie right there, because it's like end of the day, right? If you're a soldier, you're trying to get stronger, you're trying to live longer, right?
Yeah.
You want to survive. That's
Right.
like really your base like duty, essentially. You know what I'm saying? If they barely feeding you, they not giving you none of the stuff that makes you stronger. Like
I don't know.
What you supposed to do?
I think it's still messed up how they're treating their soldiers. Like, you want these soldiers to help you out and take out all these people, but you ain't even putting them at their best abilities.
Bruh.
Make it make sense. But
well, we find out a little bit later why it's so extreme, because apparently, like, the legit amount of like food they're able to grow is all dependent on the spirit bearers as well. Mm-hmm. So if the spirit bearer gets stronger, the god gets stronger, and if the god is stronger, then you can grow more food on that land, which gets everybody to eat. So when you put it that way, it makes it feel a little less racist. You know what I'm saying?
They gotta split up them rations better. Still,
see, but we do that in our society now. It's just there's no reason though. There's at least it makes sense. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But what's crazy about the MC is he is low key an isekai character.
Yeah, he has visions and can like see things from Earth, I guess, right?
Yeah, like he'd be having dreams of like different experiences, but it's like in our reality, and then he just like wakes up with just knowledge of our reality. So I don't know if he's like a full-on isekai character or if he got amnesia. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen an isekai character with amnesia. You might as well just made a regular character at that point.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Dreaming about rice balls, and I was like, how do you? Who says that? And
Bro.
they're all, what is a rice ball?
Oh, me.
He was a weirdo.
Yeah, that part kind of useless. Well, I think it's cool though, because in a sense, him having knowledge of our world, the things that we know about, kind of helped him theory craft how to get stronger on his own. You know what I mean? Because he's like, okay, I know magic is a thing. It doesn't exist in that world, but my world literally matches up with what magic would be. So maybe I can like create spells, shoot fire out my hand, you know what I'm saying? So like it's low-key making him a genius in the sense of like he's thinking about things that people who grew up around him probably have never, like they don't even know where to start to think about that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I think that part of it is kind of tough because it is a big like benefit and a I guess like a perk that he has, right? But they didn't do it in like a really dumb way, right? Not like, oh, I have a cheat skill. Like he just got like legit otherworldly knowledge.
Don't ever bring up that cheat skill stuff.
He's traumatized.
Oh my god!
Don't watch it, man. Don't look it up, man. But look, all I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? I think it's very cool how they pulled it off. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, like he's not even like the smartest like character for real. So like him being able to like do something crazy would have been felt very contrived and plot devicey, I guess. But because like he's literally just thinking about things like slowly over time and trying to figure it out through life and death situations too, you know what I mean? I feel like it makes the world feel like a lot more alive. Like the world building, I feel like is really solid in this one, even though his character is a little like he's just like a village idiot kind of.
Yeah, his training, he's just always getting packed up, even in the training. I saw him fighting with himself, and he slipped. It just fell on his face.
He's not coordinated for him right now. You know what I mean?
We can't have that.
Yeah, and that's all like really stuff that happened in the first episode. But by the second episode, it actually gets really interesting because the first one ends off with a battle where he low-key gets packed up, right? But he figures out how to use a fire spell, but he understood how to like release the fire, but he didn't know how to put the fire out. So he was low-key draining himself. Like he almost killed himself off the rip. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So he has a high diff fight with this orc. Is it an orc or I don't know, a pig or whatever,
what
man.
Thing is, man.
You know what I'm saying? It was a messed up looking thing. But he finally gets the dub and he falls off and he's low-key just bleeding out and die. Like I was just like, oh, is he about to get some like who's gonna come find him type of thing, you know what I mean? But what happens instead is low-key more interesting because he gets chosen to be one of these land bearers. And that's when I was like, oh.
So he fell asleep on the
stone slab.
Yeah.
And apparently all the land bearers have like these gravestone marks where it like signifies them. But usually like it depends on how many people believe in them and how many people like are around developing the area is how strong they are. But somehow his kind of made him kind of OD off the top.
Yeah, but his slab was also covered in like that ivy, so like
bro, a tree grew
I feel
on
like nobody really like knows about it for real.
Yeah.
But we could also be wrong. I don't know.
It piqued my interest is the point. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a slow start. You know what I'm saying? I see why you didn't really mess with it that much, like off the first watch of it, but I could also see where this one has a bit more potential. And honestly, the animation quality is really decent.
Yeah, it's not
compared to a lot of the stuff that we've been watching this season. The beginning after the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, compared to that, it's well animated. So
it is.
I'm still down on low-key give this one a shot. I would honestly give this show so far, I would recommend it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a strong recommendation. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in there thinking you about to be watching Solo Leveling, because that's not what's happening, okay? The only people over farming are these monkeys and the prince. But, you know what I'm saying? Aside from that, I feel like they did definitely do a good job of like portraying an interesting world, you know? I just gotta see how the characters develop from here on out. Because right now, it's giving me like My Hero vibes in the very beginning, where you kind of meet Izuku and like he's just not that likable of a character. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
But as you see kind of Izuku like grow through these like pains and go from being a crybaby to like Loki starting to develop his aura, then you get locked in with My Hero. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the kind of vibe this MC gives me. So I don't know. You got anything else to say about this one?
I think that's it, man.
Yeah, there ain't much to go off of, man. But like I said, I thought it was an interesting one. If you already like those kind of shows, if you want a different spin on the isekai genre, not fully different, but at least it felt different. You know what I mean? I would check this one out. Just don't have high expectations. You know what I mean? But aside from that, man, if y'all have already checked out Teogonia, let us know in the comments down below how you guys liked it, and comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll catch y'all. Peace.